Let's keep it real here, Mike. Come on. Mike in the morning. All right, we're presented by Progressive. We've got Kevin Mawae on the phone. He's the president of the NFL Players Association and good enough to stay with us through a short break there, and we appreciate it, Kevin. He's back here on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. You had one other thing you wanted to ask him, and then I have one that's a little off the subject.
It's something, Kevin, and you touched on it when you talked to fans, and I went through a strike in '87, and then the one thing now that kind of makes me cringe is when a lot of it, either from the player side or the owner side, goes public. Because in '87, after our strike, when, we were gung-ho as players, as we should be, afterward, I remember asking fans their thought of it, and they said, we didn't care. We don't want to hear one way or another. We just want our football. What is the danger of putting off fans who are saying these are millionaires fighting with billionaires? They're all going to continue getting their money. We don't want to hear about health benefits with what's going on in the world today with a guy making $40,000 and worrying about health benefits. What's the danger of making too much of this public?
Well, I think the danger is exactly that. You put the fans off, but I think if you do it in a way that puts it in relative terms, then the fans really get it. Like, if you ask somebody to work 2 extra days for $20 an hour less, it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's all a matter of common sense and logical thinking that if you're going to ask the workforce to work more, to get paid less, and get no more benefits at the back end, then any working Joe in America is going to say, I'm not going to do that. Tell me how that makes sense or how that's going to make our company better, and in addition to making my life better down the road. Now, another misconception that fans have is that every player is making $4 or $5 million a year, and that's absolutely not the truth. We all know that the top 10% of the players make the most amount of money. Everybody else is in that mid-range. And then the other part of it is, I can go work a $40,000 a year job for the next 20 years and have a great living, but the NFL lifespan is only 3.2 years. So it's a player's job, and it's his responsibility to himself and his family to maximize those 3.2 years so that he can have a life down the road. Because if I'm working in a school, I'm not carrying a potential knee replacement down the road when I'm not even 40 years old yet, or hip replacement or shoulder or something like that. The normal person doesn't subject his body to the pain and injury that an NFL player does. And that's the biggest concern for the players, is that we only have 3.2 years, but it takes 4 years to even get vested for the health care that doesn't last more than 5 years anyways. And so we try to do, and some fans don't want to hear it. They just want their football, and that's great. And we love those fans just as much as you love the ones that really care about the players. But at the end of the day, our fans need to know from the players that we want to play football. We just want to play, and we want to do it in a way that makes sense for everybody, not just for one side of the table.
All right, Mike, and again, the president of the NFLPA, Kevin Mawae. And obviously, in your role now, and look, I have a feeling we'll be hearing a lot from you, 2 weeks from now, and DeMaurice Smith and everybody else. So we'll put that to there. But you're not just a guy right now who is a powerful position at a union. You're a player at heart. You played 16 years in the NFL. We saw something over the weekend I'm not sure I've ever seen before, and that was a number of active NFL players taking to Twitter criticizing Jay Cutler, the quarterback of the Bears, for coming out of the game and all the rest of that on Sunday. Lord knows you know already what it was that happened. When Jerry Angelo, the Bears general manager, took to a press conference to address this on Monday, here's what he said.
I'm very surprised. I think it's crap. I thought they were a union. If that's the way they unionize themselves, they got bigger issues than the one that they have, with the owners. I'm very disappointed.
He went on from there, but he went there on it. Now, the fact that the Players Association, you guys are a union, and here they were turning on Jay Cutler. From your position as the president of the Players Association, and just from your heart as a guy who was through and through a football player, what did you think of that on Sunday?
As far as Jay Cutler getting hurt and his injury, it happens, and I think the players that are tweeting about it and stuff like that, they're watching the game from a fan's perspective. Now, they understand the game, and they are professional football players, but when you're sitting in front of your TV watching the game, all you see is what's being portrayed on TV. You saw Brian Urlacher come out and defend Jay Cutler just like you would expect any of his teammates to do, and I just read some of the posts and the retweets on the internet and say, hey, we didn't know that Jay actually had an MCL and things like that. Now, to speak to Jerry Angelo, it does no good for me to respond to that. there's many things I can say that to the management and to the general managers and the owners of the world about what they're doing in their own house. So, unless you live in a glass house, don't throw any stones, one of those kind of things. But, the players are more united now than ever. I think Jerry Angelo will find that out soon enough.
It's a very good answer. Kevin Mawae, again, part of this program, the NFLPA's SchoolOfTheLegends.com initiative. It's an online community where you, the fan, can get involved and interact with more than 700 current and former NFL players. If you're interested, SchoolOfTheLegends.com. Kevin, we appreciate it, and best of luck. Get this thing worked out, okay? Yeah. Because all of us just want football.
We're going to get it done, and we want to do it for what's best for everybody, including the fans. And it's always a pleasure to be on you guys' show, and I really appreciate the time.
Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin Mawae with us. He was a
by the way, great
player.
Football player.
Oh, he was great. He was a great football player. He was on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline.